The 2010 Vancouver Olympics ended with many stories of triumph and just as many heartbreaks. None of those, however, came close to the disappointment felt from an entire nation after the greatest choke job on the skeleton track. After 8 years off the grid, we finally get our first interview with a leaner and more trimmed up hero, Mardi Valentine.
Yep, Mardi Valentine here. Had the whole world in the palm of my hand. A winter mean machine all the way from Kentucky. And I blew it for love. So, sweet night. So anyway, after it's all over, I'm horrified, I'm embarrassed, I'm laughed out of the stadium. So I just was hobbling around like a chicken with too many worms in its mouth, looking to thumb it home, but doggone it, I've forgotten the passport. So, laid low for a while in Canada, got a job at a syrup cannery, so that was exciting. Tons of self-control, lost a bunch of weight. It's amazing what some simple yoga and calisthenics can do for a man. And now, I went back to the US of A a few years later, so. Yeah, that's where I'm at now.
Yeah, it makes sense to me that Marty fell for that girl because, my mama was his hero. And, you talk about this Jackie LaFont is her name. She's a bayou woman with pyromaniac tendencies. Of course Marty's going to fall for that. I never saw the footage from when he broke the Olympics or whatever it was, but I heard about it, and he, when it was all said and done, he just kind of disappeared. Even though nobody saw it, but that's just how Marty is. He's got to clear his head, and so he was gone for a bit, and he only showed up back home here in the last year or so, and this is what my daddy would have always wanted, was to be his two boys running the farm. It would be his dream, but Daddy didn't know Marty like I do, and this is not for him. And I don't say that in a negative way. I just mean he's terrible at it. Like, in this past year alone, he's broke 2 of my fences with the tractor. He's ruined half my crops. Worst part of all, he's killed one of my cows, and I didn't know you can milk a cow that wrong, but we ain't got it no more. And I love Marty, but it's not for him. He's a shell of who he was, and he just needs that passion back, And every night at the supper table, he'll sit there and he'll tell about these games, this competition he's come up with, and I'd love to tell you about it, but I'm not good at that like Marty is. But you should ask him about these games.
I call it the Valentine Games. It's a combination of all the things I love. Mardi Gras, food, Olympics, competition, and love. Because you know the story.
As promised, we were able to get an interview with Jackie, as long as we blurred out her face and distorted her voice. We asked her why she left and how she felt about Marty's new games.
I just couldn't stay. How do you stick around after you've ruined a man's life? I probably could have tried to make it work, but I just wanted more for Mardi Valentine. And look, now he's got the games that he's working on, and if anybody could make these games work and this competition work, it's Marty. And maybe this guy.
Really? She said that? I'm gonna crush it!
It's no surprise how Marty and Jackie felt about the Valentine Games. But what about everyone else? How would they feel?
No way. That boy ruins lives. He ruined my life. He ruined his teammates' life. We could have won gold that year. I tell you, that boy, he weighed $175, stood about 5'10". He was fit as a whistle. Now, the boy looks like a Michelin man, I tell you. They look at me as a coach. I got disbarred from the association. They look at me as a joke, okay? I'm a joke, and there's no way I'm coming back from this. Hold up now. We might need to film this. All right, action. Now, I love Marty. I tell you what, he's the best teammate I've ever worked with. And if he needs a coach, you tell him to give me my number.
Oh, I'd love to cover this story. I mean, if there's one thing I've learned about Mardi Valentine, is that when he sets out to do the incredible, it turns out to be a train wreck. And I have no doubt this will be any different.
Oh man. If there was a word to describe something that's way worse than failure, that's what this has gotta be.
Oh my gosh, he's a joke, you know. The only thing he's winning is the freaking Twinkie eating competition. Can we come? Please.
Well, you know, I love my brother, I really do, and I'm pulling for him. But, you know, Daddy always told us, and he pounded this in our heads, that if somebody calls on you, honesty is the best policy. And Daddy is so right. But I've thought about it through the years, and if he's right, if you go with that logic, and honesty is the best policy, then by default, dishonesty is the second best policy. So I'll say this. Sure, I think my brother's games will go real well.
New competition, huh? What are the Hunger Games? Have fun screwing this up, fatness.
You know, Marty is a true competitor, and I truly believe that he can succeed. Wait a minute. Oh no, that's right. I am the champion. Marty will never succeed. He thinks he can challenge the Olympics with his Valentine games. Oh my goodness, his Spanish needs some work. I am the champion, and Marty will never succeed.
What if I told you the greatest games played this winter may not actually be played in South Korea, but would take place in the basement of Clearview Baptist Church? What if I told you that these games wouldn't have world-class competitors, but would consist of middle school and high school students? What if I said that one man's redemption story was in your hands? They say everyone deserves a second chance. Will you be there to give Marty his? Or in the end, will he be a failure like everyone else thinks he is? Next week, you'll decide.